Well, ladies and gentlemen, here's a look at the place that they call the Speed Palace. The absolute gorgeous Port Royal Speedway in Port Royal, Pennsylvania. This half mile is one of the most famous tracks in the country in a very notable area. Home of many of the local Pennsylvania posse drivers that run here all the time. And tonight, I am racing here for my first time, and it's the rescheduled 2023 Tuscarora 50, which is gonna pay $60,000 to the winner. Super pumped to cross this place off my list tonight. Port Royal. It is known for being super, super slick, as wide as possible from the inside wall to the outside wall, and a pretty good cushion right on the fence. You know, you see guys here like Lance DeWeese that can roll the middle, and then you'll see more guys like Anthony Macri that just let it all hang out on top. So you just have just about every driving style in this track, and you can really make decisions based on yourself and your car on what you want to do to try to put it in the winner's circle. It definitely fits the definition of a driver's track. Right now, teams are rolling in. We have some of the World of Outlaw guys competing. This is an all-star sanctioned show, so we have all the all-star guys, a couple Outlaws that are using their last freebie, and then of course all the local drivers, which is going to add up to one of the most stacked fields in Tuscarora 50 history. All right, we probably have an hour or two until the drivers meeting. We'll get some engine heat, get some hot laps. Tonight is not an Outlaw format, it's all-star format, which we'll kind of get into in a little bit, but really excited to be in Pennsylvania, continue rolling along, and get some laps at this track for the Outlaw shows, you know, tomorrow and Saturday, as this is going to be a great 3-day weekend. Well guys, my team is changing an engine after qualifying, so not a super hot start to our Tuscarora 50. The gist of it is we were just not happy with the performance of the engine, with the track conditions. It's just super fast, and we were about a half second off where we needed to be, and honestly I didn't think my laps were that bad. I was a little free in 3 and 4. I could have been more stuck down there, but rolled through 1 and 2 okay. Like I said, Port Royal right now has a lot of grip, probably a little more than normal from what I know talking to people. Of course, I've never been here before, but from all the footage, seems like even early in the night this place gets slick, but the sun has kind of went down. It's not super warm, and right now the surface is lightning quick. So time's right there in the mid 15-second bracket, and now we're going to be moving into a heat race. Now I think we ended up 24th or 25th in our flight. There's 54 cars here, another stout field in Pennsylvania. So we're buried, but we're going to fire this thing up, get some heat in it, and then you know, get ready to turn around for a heat race starting 8th. And I don't know how many transfer, I don't know how it works. All I know right now is we got to pass as many cars as possible, and that's all we're going to roll with and try to work on making our race car better. But going forward is of course the main goal, and at least being in the last heat race of the day, the track should at least be a little slicker than it is now, with maybe a little bit more room to race. So our heat race is now complete. Started 8th there, just about at the very back of the field. Was able to pass 2 cars and finish 6th. They were transferring the top 3. With so many cars in general, with 6 heat races, they only could transfer that many. So now they're going to take 6 from the B and then so many cars from the C. With us being able to pass a couple though, we at least advance into the B main event, and we're not going to be starting in the C. So we'll get a chance to kind of watch. Racetrack's still really fast. It's interesting how with these half miles, you know, different than where I come from. Like the second the track starts to lose grip on a quarter mile, I feel like you're off the gas more. Where on the half mile, you have more wing speed keeping the car planted, especially if you're stellar, you know, and you're right on with your setup, you can really drive the thing hard. And throughout those 8 laps, I felt pretty good. The engine change was the right call. The engine ran much more crisp, cleaner. You could feel I had, you know, that little extra horsepower, which is really needed right now. And overall, was able to, you know, make a pass there or 2 on the start, and then get one more car there as we got rolling. Anyway, long story short, at least we kind of advanced, and now we're going to be moving into a lower main. We're going to be starting deep, but like I said, just keep working on making the car better and making the best of our situation. Right now, the only complaint I really have is I'm kind of free in 3 and 4. I have to rely too much on the grip on the outside, being buried in something to be okay. Where right now I'd like to be more stuck in general, so I don't have to really rely on having to run the top down there. I think I'm going to have to move around more. 1 and 2 though, I think I feel much better, and really, you know, don't think we could be crazy faster in that corner. We're really close. Well, they're doing the dash redraw right now. Here's a look at the track. You can see this is all unused real estate. We haven't even really got up past, you know, maybe 3/4 of the way up the track, probably even actually more by looking at it. So they're trying to pack it in, get it to where it starts throwing material and building a cushion on the wall. But yeah, a lot of it has kind of been around the bottom and just a lot of momentum. That's what Port Royal is all about. You can tell kind of just by watching videos, but tonight specifically, because there's not as much to lean on, or there is, but it just hasn't necessarily been the fastest way around. So we will see where we start for our B. You can see a packed infield, packed grandstands. It's really amazing what's here in Pennsylvania. You know, we've had a rough couple nights, you know, or just how things have kind of been going, but it really is amazing being out here and seeing everything I've always heard about from the PA posse. Truly some of the best sprint car fans in the business, and then of course, you know, so much talent. When you combine that with all the National Touring Series, All-Stars, Outlaws, I mean, it's a heck of a show. But anyway, we're gonna try to make our stuff better, work on probably getting a little bit tighter, try to get some more grip, and just get where we can keep our car straight through the slick and still be able to drive it hard.
At the Packers concessions chalk line, they are in turn number 4.
an early end to our night here at the Tusky 50. Started so far back there in the B, I knew it was going to be an uphill battle. And with where the racetrack's been, it's not, you know, as normal as Port Royal is. It's funny how you mentally prepare yourself, you watch video, and I see how slick this place is, and it slows down so much throughout the night. And then I show up first time here and everyone's like, man, this place is awesome, and don't get me wrong, it is. You know, it's so slick, there's a cushion, and it's wide as can be. And then today, 15-second laps, fast in the heats, harder to pass, racetrack's a little bit narrower, and that happens. It's just, you know, we're not as prepared for that, and then that, you know, hurt us as a team tonight. You know, just being off in qualifying, and it doesn't matter if it's All-Stars or, you know, Outlaws. They ended up doing a unique format for this. I thought it was going to be standard All-Star. It was close to it, but no matter what, if you don't qualify well, you're going to be in trouble. And I mean, I felt okay in the heat race, and then in the B, I ran my first 6 laps were good, my last 6 weren't very good. I just need to work on being better in dirty air as a driver. It's difficult when it's faster like this, as you're trying to pick where the guys in front of you are going and predicting what they did off of what they did the laps before. And if you choose wrong, you can get yourself in trouble, just like I did in 1 and 2. Like, the track's kind of slickening off, it's getting dirty, and then it's thick grip up there if you hit the right spot, and you almost start bouncing and almost like bike up and get really, really tight. Anyway, it is what it is. I'm glad that we, you know, got our night out of the way. It is frustrating how it went. I think with this engine in, with kind of where we were at, if we don't have to start behind cars, we're at least better, of course, than we were. So it just sucks we didn't get to really live up to our full potential for first night here at Port, but we have 2 more nights here now with the World Outlaw Sprint Car Series, so we got a good spot to start in, and we just got to strive to do the best we can. It's really strong field of cars, you know, really, really hard track. PA's as good as it gets, but we want to be better, and we need to be, you know, to run with the greatest show on dirt now the rest of the weekend. Well, they officially got tonight's show in at the 2023 Tuscarora 50. Started to try to rain right in the middle of the feature, I mean very lightly, but they pushed through. They even got the non-qualifier in. Did want to say we elected not to run the non-qualifier because of our starting position, you know, being too far back, and you know, we just deemed as a team it was not worth it, as we have the rest of the weekend ahead of us. And like I said, that was a group decision as a team, and we're just looking out what's best, you know, for the 1T. But anyway, wanted to come down and show you the surface. I don't think this ended up being typical Port Royal fashion. You can even, I mean, you can see some slick, but there is a little bit more grip, and even like kind of down, you know, I mean, you can feel it a little bit as you're walking. Just really interesting, the racetrack that we had, and you know, it being that much faster, I think, you know, made other guys prevail than, you know, some of the locals that are maybe used to the slick. I don't know if it was more difficult for them. I think just in general, you know, blanket over everyone, it was all about qualifying and being farther up front, because usually when a racetrack's faster, there's less opportunity to pass, and that's what we're just working on as a team as a whole. Basically, no matter what series you're racing against, whether there's 15 cars, whether there's 50, whether there's 100, like, qualifying is everything to set you up, and you're racing against yourself, and that's what's the coolest part. There's no other competition except you, yourself, your car, and like how to go the fastest possible. So that's like what we're really working on right now. And another example tonight, how we got behind with our engine and the issues, and having to make that change and not having all the horsepower that we needed puts you behind, and then, you know, what do you do? But anyway, Port Royal, glad I got to see the place, and, you know, hoping that the rest of the weekend we're able to get it in with the weather, and you know, get a chance to race with the World of Outlaws and another, you know, stacked field of cars. So thank you guys so much for watching. Great being here in Posse Country. It's a tough area, but we're tough people, and I got a great, you know, group of guys behind me, and we all want the same goal. We're just working in that direction. So got to keep working hard and make the right choices for our car, make the right choices for myself, so we can be closer to the front and try to make it happen for you guys. See you in the next one. Peace.